The Houthi rebels have significantly stepped up their attacks on the commercial shipping vessels traveling through the Red Sea region in response to Israel's bombardment on Gaza. Threats have further escalated in the past week. India has also stationed 2 of its guided missile destroyers off the coast of Aden. Hello everyone, my name is Shweta and today we're going to discuss about the recent events that are taking place in Red Sea. We'll also discuss what's at stake for India in such scenario. Points of discussion in this video will revolve around. First, we'll see what the current issue is about. Then we'll see where is Red Sea located, the geographical positioning of the Red Sea. We'll look at the significance of this particular region. Now coming to India specifically, we'll deal with India's interests which lies in the Red Sea. We'll also come to implications of the current events. We'll end the discussion with a way forward. So let's begin the discussion with the current issue. Based in South Yemen, the Houthi militia, they are targeting the commercial vessels in the Red Sea region. It's a part of their plan to pressurize the international community to stop Israel for military operations in Gaza. So the Iran-backed Houthi rebels, they have come down in support of Gaza and tried to stop Israel because of such attacks. Apart from the Houthi rebels who are targeting the merchant shipping, the Islamist Somalian pirates, they are also adding to the mess. They are hijacking the merchant tankers for huge ransom money. See, there are many rebel groups that are present and operating across the world. I have also made a video on that topic. Please find the link of that video in the description below. So this is the situation where different rebel groups and different militant activists, they are targeting the military security, the maritime security in the Red Sea region. These attempts at destabilizing the Middle Eastern region, it has brought the important sea lines of communication under the threat, which has important repercussions across the world. Now, how has the world responded to such a situation? The USA, it has unveiled a multinational naval force to protect merchant vessels in the Red Sea. The United States of America, it has announced a maritime coalition to protect the shipping industry from such threats. India has also stationed 2 guided missile destroyers off the coast of Aden as part of maritime security in the North Arabian Sea. So these are the initiatives of the different countries across the world who have come forward to secure the maritime security in the Red Sea region. Now, as we talk about the Red Sea region, we'll also look at where is the Red Sea located. It's a seawater inlet of the Indian Ocean lying between Africa and Asia. So this is Red Sea and it's a seawater inlet which goes into the Indian Ocean region. It lies between Africa and Asia. Now its connection to the ocean, it can be found in its south through the points of Bab al-Mandab and the Gulf of Aden. So from here, the Red Sea flows into the Indian Ocean. This is about the south of the Red Sea. We'll also look at the north of the Red Sea. In the north, the Sinai Peninsula is there, right? On the eastern side, the Gulf of Aqaba is there. On the western side, the Gulf of Suez is there. The Gulf of Suez, it leads to the Suez Canal, which is a very important trading route for the world economy. So after looking at the position of the Red Sea, we'll also take a look at the bordering countries. On the eastern side, Yemen and Saudi Arabia is present. On the western side, Djibouti, Eritrea, Sudan and Egypt can be seen. So these are also the countries present across the Red Sea. Now this event particularly is making so much news as this particular region holds great significance. To come to that, we'll also look at the significance of Red Sea. See, before the Suez Canal, which opens up to the Red Sea, when it was created or before it was created, the merchants from the Asian economies, They used to take the longer route from all the way to Cape of Good Hope from South Africa to reach the European markets. After the Suez Canal was created, the direct route was formed to reach the European markets. So this substantially reduced the time taken for delivery of such traded items and also the cost associated with that. So because that, the importance of Red Sea has grown immensely. It can be seen by the fact that about 12% of all the global trade, it passes through the Red Sea. It also includes the 30% of the global container traffic. So its importance is so much that all about 12% of the global trade is passing through this route. Billions of dollars of traded goods and supply pass through this region every year. Particularly with respect to India, about $200 million of trade every year is taken place because of this route. Apart from it, the narrow bubble mandap, it is also a critical choke point in shipping. So with the perspective of global economy, the global trade, it is the very important location. Now, as the significance is for across the world, will also come to India's interest specifically in the Red Sea. So to start with it, first is the trade and maritime connectivity. See, as we looked at it, the Red Sea region, it provides a direct connectivity from Indian Ocean to the Mediterranean region. So because of that, many of the shipping operators from India, they use this route to trade with the countries in Europe, Africa and in the Middle East. So from trade perspective, this region is very important. Apart from it, the energy security. The Red Sea region, it provides a key transit route for the oil and key shipments. India, which is heavily dependent upon imports from the Gulf countries for its oil and gas requirements. So energy requirement, it is a very important factor for the Red Sea. Then the geopolitical considerations. See, the position of Red Sea is such that it holds great amount of importance. It is lying at the crossroads of Africa, West Asia and Asia. Because of that, India's active involvement in the Red Sea, it reflects its desire to play a constructive role in shaping the regional politics and maintaining stability. So as India wants to increase in influence in different regions, so this particular area is of very important from geopolitical perspective. Then humanitarian and developmental assistance. India is engaged in developmental projects and providing humanitarian assistance to countries mainly in East Africa, which are mainly accessible from the Red Sea region. These kind of initiatives, they also improve the diplomatic goodwill of India and also poses itself as an important regional player. So they go a long way because of that. Then the global outreach. See, when India, it does not want only to be restricted in the South Asian region and wants itself to become a Vishwa Guru. So because of that, present in such key strategic locations, including the Red Sea, it is very important, right? It also contributes to global maritime stability and reinforces role in the international affairs. As maritime security is increasingly becoming an area of concern in the world across the countries in the world. So India's influence will also be increased because of the Red Sea region. So this is how India is very much interested in the Red Sea region. But as the current events are taking place, India's interest would also be affected. So that brings us to discussion about the implications of the current events. So first is the trade disruptions. As the 12% of all the global trade, it is passing through the Red Sea. So any kind of disruption would surely impact the global economy. There would be the delays in the cargo deliveries, as the shipping routes would now be elongated by several miles. So the export of the goods, they would be affected. The longer trading time or the longer transit time, it will then affect the schedule delays also. It will also reduce the service reliability as well. So that kind of situations, they impact the global economy and the trade disruptions can also be felt in India as well. Apart from it, the economic loss as increased freight rates can be seen. When the countries, they would take the longer route, the fuel expenses, they would increase, right? The demand of such vessels, which would then be increased, would also increase the overall cost. And also, if the countries decide to go through the Red Sea means only, even then, the freight forwarders or the intermediaries which are present in shipping in the Red Sea, they would now charge a higher war risk surcharge. So because of that, overall freight rate, it would increase and then reduce the profitability because of shipping industry. Apart from it, the energy security concerns, right? As oil and natural gas shipments, they are heavily reliant on the Red Sea region, and particularly with respect to Asian economies. They are very much dependent on the imports from the Gulf countries, so they would affect the energy security because of that. The delayed shipment deliveries can be seen, and they would even become more costly. It was seen just few days back that oil prices had increased substantially following the militant activities. So because of that, the energy security is also at risk. And lastly, a larger issue of heightened regional tensions, it will be also emerged. Strengthening of non-state actors. The Houthi militia, the military capability they have employed in this region, it is becoming a grave concern for all the countries across the world. India is also threatened because of this, as such activities, they would provide impetus to growth of other non-state actors also. Apart from it, the threat to maritime security would also prevail, and the shipping industry would be heavily impacted by it. Apart from it, the involvement of other regional external players such as United States also, they would create tensions in the region, and disruptions can be felt for over a long period of time. So because of that, because of such implications, the interest of India and the world would be impacted. Now, as the situation is of grave concern, the countries should also try to look at the ways to resolve this issue. So for that, we'll also come at a way forward. How do we need to act in order to deal with this issue? First is the multinational military collaboration. See, no country alone, it would be able to tackle events like this. So in such a scenario, the nations, they should come together, align their position and act collectively in the view of securing those interests. Example of United States Operation Prosperity Guardian is a right step in this direction. Balanced diplomatic approaches. As the talks are ongoing with the Houthi militia, we have to be patient and not restrict the diplomatic approach that we can employ in resolution of this particular issue. Then we should also acknowledge the role of non-state actors. Now non-state actors, they cannot be ignored, and the nations should try to develop the policies keeping in view the threat and the influence of the non-state actors also in securing the regional stability. And after this, the naval protection, it should also be enhanced. However, measures we take at reducing the threats, but when situations such as the prevailing ones come, we should also be ready with the enhanced naval protection. The example of India's Operation Sankalp, which it started in 2019 to escort the Indian flagged ships and protect its commercial vessels, it should also be followed by the countries across the world. So that is all that could be discussed about this issue, and particularly with respect to India, what's all at stake for India's interest. What goes more in this topic is still to be seen, but that's all for today. Thank you so much.